What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? One Eyebrow back from the PT channel to talk about The Walking Dead Season 8, a theory about the Commonwealth, and did we see the start of it in episode 812? Obviously, spoiler warning if you're not up to date of the show, the comic, the series, everything. Spoiler warning, as I don't want to ruin anything for you. And remember, this is a theory and discussion, as we are not saying that Georgie is a person of the Commonwealth, but we're going to say why and why not. It makes sense for her to be connected with the Commonwealth or not. But if you love The Walking Dead like we do, guys, join our Walking Dead family. We got theories, discussion, videos, spoilers, all this good stuff, all things Walking Dead, and stay in the know by subscribing. Now, the Commonwealth came around in the New World Order storyline in the Walking Dead comics. We are on part 3 as I make this video. That's Pamela Milton. That's the most logical connection with Georgie if there is one. But like I said, part 1, part 2, and part 3, this is the latest issue of the Walking Dead comic. That's Mercer. Pretty cool character. We'll see what happens with him. Princess and Eugene are in the latest comic covers, but that's part 4. And here's part 5 right here, Eugene. And so we don't know what part 6 is, but again, we're on part 3 of the 6-part series. Now, the Commonwealth could be connected with the helicopter, could be connected with Georgie, it could be connected with nothing on the show altogether. The helicopter came around, people are like, it's the Commonwealth, they're coming. Well, that's 50 issues away from where we're at the All Out War storyline into the comic issue right now, about 50 issues. Could it be connected with the Commonwealth? Yes. Could the helicopter have nothing to do with anything? That's a possibility as well. Hopefully it gets answered this season so we can find out and move on with it. But I really hope they don't bring the Commonwealth too early. They do the Whisperers and then the war and then Commonwealth. But Georgie came around in episode 812. What did you think of this character? I thought it was kind of cool to set up for the future. Obviously, that's what this is doing. Georgie is very smart and educated. We'll talk about the trade barter agreement, what it means for Maggie, Hilltop, Alexandria, and the future. But that's really what this was setting up in my eyes. And just looking at Georgie and her crew there, her small crew, that they are well taken care of. They are clean, well-dressed, and prepared. But it was interesting that they were surrounded by all women. Maggie, Enid, Rosita, Michonne, Georgie, and the 2 women. Pretty interesting that it was a girl connection and girl empowerment, and I'm not trying to read too much into that. I just thought it was cool to see that. We haven't seen that on this series just yet. There's always a Rick or a Governor or a Negan or this or a male presence that was dominating, whether it was Gregory being terrible or for good reasons like Rick and just deals getting done. But Maggie showed her leadership abilities, and I don't fault Maggie whatsoever for not trusting these people to begin with, because look at all she's been through, everything that has happened. These people just show up, have a crate sitting there with a note, and you're like, this has got to be a setup. This is going to be weird, right? So it kind of didn't fit where things are going with the war, but it's building for after the war. So that's what I see this whole connection going forward after the war, rebuilding things, rebuilding the world, society, the Hilltop, Alexandria. They have to rebuild after the war. They have to get their stuff together and move forward with things. I thought the vehicle was very interesting. I doubt they're living in this vehicle with 3 people. They have tons of stuff in there, food and other materials. And why were they asking for food or records? That's kind of funny to ask for records. It's a comfort. You don't need a record to survive. You need water and then food. You definitely need water first and then food. But these people are that comfortable living wherever they're living. They look clean, they're well dressed, they're well taken care of, so they're looking for comfort things next. They have it that good that they can ask for records or things of comfort that you don't need to survive. That's kind of interesting by itself too, because if you're doing so well that you're like, you got any records? What if they're like, you got an iPod? You got this? You got that? Yeah, we got electricity. We got all this stuff. We need the comfort things of life. You got TV? You got DVDs? You got books? They must be so well taken care of wherever they're living, which I hope to see that they need the extra things in life, which is kind of crazy to think that. So Georgie and her crew here, that's all we saw. We don't know where they live, what they're connected with, and who they're connected with. But they're well taken care of, they get around pretty well, and they look to be well traveled. They've seen other people and other groups, nothing like this, they said. But the biggest thing going forward is the barter, what they exchanged for. A key to the future. That is building for the future, how to survive, having a sustainable life that is safe, secure, clean, well taken care of, and something to build upon. Now, it's funny that a key to the future was in Georgie's head, and she's been putting it down on paper since the coffee shop. So it's ever evolving ever since this started. She's been taking notes and writing stuff down of what stuff works to build for the future. So to me, Georgie is obviously a well-educated person. She could have been an engineer, a historian, or both, but something of great knowledge, education, and just retaining the knowledge of how to survive. It's kind of funny that Negan and Rick are trying to kill each other at war, and Georgie is trying to build for the future, a key to the future, obviously the future, not where they're at right now at the present. It's pretty cool that Georgie is saying, build this place up. We'll be back. It may take some time, but we'll definitely be back. And that's very cool. Is that connected with the Commonwealth, who's in Ohio in the comics? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that it is. It could be the start of things there, but I thought it was pretty interesting when Georgie and them were driving out and you see the school bus, obviously, in the shot. So the school bus, education, being schooled, being taught, and in the comic, you see a windmill. And Georgie said that to Maggie. So windmills, silos, had a farm, medieval way of life, building stuff up without electricity and power before all these modern creature comforts of today. So it's kind of cool to go back into that era of things, of using wind power and water power to get things done. We saw that in episode 801 and episode 809. So obviously that's where they're going for the future, with the knowledge that Georgie left to Maggie to build for the future is a major part of the series going forward. Georgie is that connection. You see them building things here. Maybe these are the plans that are put in motion by what Georgie gave them for information of how to do things, because you have to be educated and taught those. There's less and less people in the world to do that. Georgie is their connection with that, obviously. But is Georgie connected with the Commonwealth? I would say maybe on the side of probably not, because the Commonwealth doesn't look to be great people. If you're reading the comics, you know what I'm talking about. And I just see Georgie as a person to help everyone to build for the future, because everybody working together is what the world should be about. And Georgie was showing Maggie that the way to build for the future is together. That's what the Carl notes were about. That's going to be the underlying theme of the second half of season 8, towards the end of it, the season 8 finale into season 9. Working together, humans versus zombies. Walkers need to go away. People need to stick together and build for the future. The key to the future, obviously, for that. So we'll see what happens with Georgie. Obviously, they're going to build the windmills and all that stuff. They have the schematics and plans after the war. Hopefully, Simon and the Sabres don't blow up the hilltop with the plans in it, but that'd be pretty terrible. The Commonwealth connection, is it there? I don't think so. Maybe, very small chance in my eyes, but if they're building something for it, it could be for way down the road, seasons 11 or 12, if the Commonwealth comes around to the show or not. I'm worried about the Whispers and after the war and the New Beginning storyline first, and I don't think the Commonwealth can fit into that storyline just yet. Is Georgie connected with it? Only time will tell, but I don't think so. Post your comments below. Do you think Georgie is the starter of the Commonwealth? Maybe, maybe not. If you're on social media and Facebook, we are at the Walking Dead community. We got a Facebook page and a group. Give us a follow. Everyone is welcome. If you are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, we are at the PT channel. We got pages and groups and all this good stuff. Walking Dead mystery boxes. If you follow my book series, Fight for Us. If you don't, it's a good zombie apocalypse genre book series. 6 books available now. That's book 6 that came out a couple days ago. Keeper, that's book 6, the start of volume 2. 5 books per volume. Those are the 6 books. Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Kindle versions, so paperback and digital versions. Obviously, become a PTP by subscribing. I hope you do. We value our subscribers and members. We're going to be doing prizes and giveaways for our subscribers. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. Stay in the know by subscribing. I hope you do. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. And remember, guys, you got to make some left turns before you make a right one.